Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be making these yummy sausage balls. So come back and you can learn how to make them too. Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel again today. Now today, as you could tell from behind me, I'm in my kitchen because I'm fixing to do a recipe for you. Now I have made this recipe once before. I actually found this recipe where I work on a box. You know how sometimes they put recipes on the box because you use the ingredients in the box to make it? Well, that's where this one came from. And it turned out pretty decent. So I thought that I would make some of it here at the house. It's called sausage balls. And what I plan to do is put them in the freezer. Then in the mornings when I come home from work, I can get a few out and scramble some eggs and have them for breakfast, for a quick breakfast. And I also think I might take probably half of what I'm making to my neighbor today. So let me turn this tripod around and get started and show you how we're going to make these sausage balls. Okay, the first thing I want to do is show you the ingredients that I'm going to be using to make this sausage ball recipe. Now the first thing you're going to need is 2.5 cups of pancake mix. I have that in here. And this is the kind of pancake mix that you have to add other ingredients to, like milk and eggs. It's not the complete pancake mix that you just add water to. That's all I had, so I'm going to use that. And that's also what I used at work. That's the same kind. 1 pound of raw sausage. And I got the Walmart brand. I'm hoping it's not hot and spicy. 1 pound of that. 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. I also bought the Walmart brand of cheddar cheese. Now this bag says 2 cups. So that's what I'm using. I didn't measure it out like I normally do in the cups. I'm just going by what they said on the bag. It said 2 cups, and that's what I'm going to use it for. 1/2 teaspoon garlic powder. Now I'm using my black garlic that you've seen me use before because I'm trying to use this up and get rid of it. I actually think that I got this from the food pantry. I think they gave it to me in a food basket because I don't remember buying black garlic. 1 egg. And where is my egg? It's up here somewhere. Oh, here it is, right here in front of me. It's cracked. I was looking for an egg in the shell. Here's the egg. I already got it cracked and ready to go. 1/2 cup diced red peppers. Now, I didn't have the red peppers, but I did have some orange ones in the freezer. So I'm going to go ahead and go with those. 1/2 cup minced green onions. And y'all know how I keep my green onions in the freezer. I chop them up and put them inside of a soda bottle like this. Nice box because it had stuff in it. Anyway, you put it in a soda bottle, then you can shake out what you need. So there's 1/2 cup on that. Now that's all the regular ingredients that the recipe called for. But when I made them at work for my client, to me they didn't taste salty enough. So I am going to add in 1/2 teaspoon of salt to mine and hope that I don't mess it up. Then I have my mixing bowl. And I have these things here that I'm going to use. I bought this at a yard sale. And I'm going to use it to make the balls to put it together with. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 350. Then the recipe says to just throw everything into the bowl and mix it. And you're going to end up having to probably use your hands. I'm going to put some gloves on here in a minute. Because it said to use a stand mixer with a paddle, and I don't have a KitchenAid mixer with a paddle on it. So I am going to use my hands because that's what I did at work. So first I'm going to throw all the ingredients in. The 2.5 cups of pancake. The 1 pound of raw sausage. Okay, I got my gloves on, and these are gloves that I ordered from Temu, and I have another package ordered coming in because I use them all the time mixing. And I have all my ingredients in here, and now we're going to commence to mixing everything together. Here's what it looks like halfway through. Here's what it looks like 3/4 of the way through. And here's what it looks like completely mixed. Sausage is a lot harder to mix up than hamburger meat. So just know it's going to take a little bit of muscle power to mix it up if you do it by hand. Okay, now we're ready to form it into the balls. I'm supposed to put it on a baking sheet lined with parchment. And I did go ahead and spray my baking sheet, my parchment paper on my baking sheet. I went ahead and sprayed it. And now we're going to try this little doohickey. Now, I think I've only used this thing one time because I had difficulty forming it. And if it seems like they're too big, I think I'll probably just put 1/2 of it. All right, let's give it a whirl. The recipe says to mix everything and form it into a walnut-sized ball. To me, that looks too big, but I'm going to go ahead and put it on there, and then if it's at the end, if it seems like it's too big, I'll break pieces off and make it smaller. Okay, here we have a few on here. I'm going to go ahead and finish the rest of them. Then I'll come back and show you what they all look like after I get them all lined up on the tray. Here they are, lined up and ready for baking. When I was making them, I kept seeing these little white papery pieces on the balls. And I just figured it was part of the parchment paper, so I was picking it off. And I did have to go back and pinch them and re-roll them because that ball maker was making them too big. I thought, I'll make them at another time and I'll use that ball maker and make them that size and see. Because I was afraid they wouldn't get cooked all the way in the middle. So I pinched them off and re-rolled them. But anyway, what I was going to tell you, that little piece of white paper I thought was coming off the parchment paper. And as I got to the end, when I was rolling, I realized it was the onion, those green onions that I chopped up and put in there. So, after you get them all rolled and you put them on the pan, you're going to bake them for 25 minutes. So, let me put them in the oven and get them baked. And when they get done, I'll come back and show you what they look like. Okay, here we are. We're back. And they're out of the oven. I'm going to get my oven mitts on because they are piping hot. But if I can get it up there, I want to show you what they look like. They look really, really good. And they taste good too. At least the ones that I made before did. Now, the recipe said to cook them for 25 minutes. And at 25 minutes, they didn't look to me like they were cooked all the way. I'm especially concerned about that center being cooked. So I did put them back in for another 10 minutes. And when I made them at work, I also had to add an extra 10 minutes there too as well. And this is an entirely different kind of sausage than what I used there. The sausage I used at work was that Williams sausage patties. And I just crumbled up the patties and used it. And this, as you saw, was in one of those tubes. And then this is how many it made, and that's about how many I got there too. Now what I'm going to do is let them cool, then I'll put them in the Ziploc bag. which I've got ready right here to go with the date and what's in it. And the recipe says you can eat these, serve them hot with maple syrup or ranch. I don't have any maple syrup and I don't have any ranch. I'm going to serve them with honey. I think honey would work good. I think honey mustard would work good, hot mustard. I think you could use jelly. I think you could use any kind of really salad dressing that you like. Pomegranate sauce, ketchup if you wanted to. They're pretty versatile. If you want to smash them down and put them inside of a biscuit and have like a sausage biscuit. Now they do have the pancake mix in them, so there's kind of a bready consistency in there along with the meat. But it's basically a meat product. So that's it. That's all for this video. I'm not going to be doing a taste test on them because, like I said, they're piping hot. And I did taste them at work. I will let you know if putting that extra half a teaspoon of salt in these affected it, because the ones at work were really mild. They didn't have any, they tasted like they needed salt. That's why I put it in mine. And I'm hoping I didn't ruin it, because that means all these balls are going to be ruined. And I'm going to bag half of them up to take to my neighbor. So thank you guys for coming today and viewing this video. And y'all come back and see us any old time. Bye for this one.